CPIM Bengal സംസ്ഥാന സെക്രട്ടറിയായി അടുത്തിടെ തിരഞ്ഞെടുക്കപ്പെട്ട മുതിർന്ന നേതാവ് മുഹമ്മദ് സലീമാണ് ഇന്ന് ദേശാഭിമാനി പ്രേക്ഷകർക്കൊപ്പം ചേരുന്നത്. ബംഗാളിലെ നിലവിലെ രാഷ്ട്രീയ സാഹചര്യത്തെക്കുറിച്ചും ഇടതുപക്ഷത്തിൻ്റെ ഭാവിയെക്കുറിച്ചുമെല്ലാം അദ്ദേഹത്തിൽ നിന്ന് ചോദിച്ചറിയാം. വെൽക്കം, comrade.
Thank you.
Comrade, you are right now elected as the State Secretary of CPIM Bengal, and you are following the footsteps of legendary leaders like Biman Basu and all that. So, what's your plan to build up or to revive the left front, especially CPIM in Bengal?
As you know, in Bengal, we are having a very tough time. And it's a big challenges. So, in that case, the first challenge is to rejig the organization, revamp it, reposition also. And the younger generation is coming now. So, train them, retain them, and the movement we have to build up based on the party decision. Now, in the party congress, now and earlier in the party state conference, we have decided how to go about. No doubt it's a big challenge, but the party is ready, and that's why the conference has given me this enormous responsibility. I think after a decade of so of this Trinamool Congress government and more than 8 years of almost 8 years of BJP rule, the people are also fed up. They want some alternative. So the first challenge is to work out the left alternative, and our success stories in Kerala, when we had government in West Bengal, in Tripura, and in the entire post-independent era, the left movement had championed so many things for this poorer working population, the unemployed, the women folks, the minorities, be it religious or linguistic or ethnics. And at this point of time, entire thing is now under challenge. So, to protect this constitutional scheme of thing, the legacy of our freedom struggle, and at the same time, the unity of the people and their rights, basic rights, livelihoods, the lives have to be protected. It's a failure of the economic policy of Modinomics. And in Bengal also, Trinamool Congress government have no difference. They are just implementing the same policies. So we have to oppose those policies. While implementing it, Trinamool Congress is masking it. So we have to unmask that. That's a challenge. And at the same time, they wanted to weaken our network. That's why so much of attacks. So even in the face of this attack, the comrades are there and they are fighting. So I have to motivate and remobilize those sections who were just, because of this terror, because of other compulsions, were just alienated. So we have to regain their faith and basic classes, and they're our class allies. So strengthen the left movement. Left front is there, but broader left also. Outside left front also, there are leftist individuals, groups and parties. Will get them along, and then all those who are opposed to this BJP and Trinamool Congress, and who is not going to succumb to the pressure of this ED, CBI, or not corrupted, all those people will come and join, and then we have to not only regain our position, but we have to rebuild Bengal as well as at the same save Bengal from the hands of this BJP and Trinamool.
The right-wing section or the right-wing media, they are deliberately creating a propaganda that left is already wiped out from Bengal, and it's only now Trinamool and BJP. Left has no role or no place. How much truth is in it? What's your
As you rightly pointed out, when you're saying right-wing propaganda, so the media, even though they are mainline media, national or regional, but after all, they are now become mouthpiece of the right wing. So with the advent of rightists throughout the world, in our country also, there is no media as such. You will see either Modia or Didia. In Bengal is Didia, and in Indian perspective is Modia. And they tried to write off CPIM, but as you know, it's not so easy. where the left used to be, since the pre-independence days, part and parcel of the Bengal society. The movement, not only political movement, but social, cultural movement also, the left was there. So the Trinamool was created to wipe out left. And the greatest challenge of the CPIM or the leftists in Bengal is to, because they tried to just erase the memory of the left movement from the history. Like others. So throughout the world now, one of the greatest challenge for the left is, or the poor people is, to just protect its memory. Like mobile phone, they just erase the memory. So you have to, that's just the distortion of history comes. So you have to protect that memory. And now for Bengal, the party and the mass organization and its movement, despite all these attacks and terror, we were able to link it with our past, but fighting for the future, and they wanted to delink it. So in the recent time also you will see, though electorally we were not very successful, but this binary which was sought to be created by the right wings, be it BJP or Trinamool, either way it's Adani and Ambani company. So in that case, that binary is now somehow exposed. But unfortunately this binary is not a binary of political parties alone, it was a binary of religion basis. So they divided the society into Hindu Muslims also. And because of insecurity of the Muslims, and because of this threat of CA, NRC, NPR, and at the same time this Yogi, Amit Shah, Modi, Mohan Bhagavat, Vijay Varghese, all cacophony, so they were threatened in that case. And they wanted to secure the position, like as in other states now. So, and Mamata tried to become savior. That is the RSS game plan. Because either you go this way or that way, but Nagpur will be benefited. So that now it is being exposed. With the recent developments, if you follow Bengal politics, with the murder of Anis Khan, the student activist, the CNRC movement activist, then the massacre in Rampur Hat, and the Trinamool Congress government and parties in a denial mode, so they didn't want to inquire it, they wanted to just, they're trying to hide everything. So that's anger of the people is growing. And in recently concluded municipal elections also you have seen, despite all these terror tactics and attacks, but BJP was a fake opposition in Bengal. It was manufactured by the media and muscle power and money power. So now that aura has gone. Because mainly what is BJP in Bengal is all estranged Trinamool Congress, and most of them are returning to the Trinamool fold after the election. So naturally, but it's not easy because it's a huge amount of money, then big media houses, and then muscle power, and then communal forces. They're all at work. So we have to work out appropriate strategy, and I'm sure that the party will be able to do that.
In the last elections, actually our vote percentage come down to single digit even. But in the recently concluded municipal election, we again come up to around 15%. And now 2 more by-elections are coming, Asansol and Ballyganj. What's your expectations?
Even then in the municipal elections, the real mood of the people are not reflected. Because mainly the Trinamool is a very systematic targeted campaign and attack. So the booths where we are strong, where we can sail through, where the words which we can win, so they targeted that in particular. So the popular mood is not reflected. Even then, the people managed to vote. Many of our supporters could not vote. Many of the polling agents were not allowed to sit. Many of the candidates could not campaign. But despite that, people are ready, but we have to put our best foot forward.
So you are saying that the democracy is suppressed in Bengal now, all the criminal elements, 100%. Mafia elements, they are handling the gangsters. So how we could overcome that? How we could give faith to the people?
We have discussed elaborately in our state conference, and then in our committees also, in the party congress we will also decide, based on our political understanding, and armed with our ideology, and by strengthening our organization and class struggle and class movement, as well as our new section we have to attract.
Okay.
And with that, I'm sure that the things is not going to continue like this. The change is imminent. How quick and how smoothly, that's a big challenge.
Okay. And in Bengal CPM, actually a generation change is happening. You become the new secretary, a lot of newcomers were included. So what's the situation? Young generation, are they again getting attracted to the left, especially CPM?
Yes. As you know, it's not easy that all of a sudden you can induct new people in your state level committees.
True.
Unless you have a decadal plan, unless you recruit them at the early stage, then train them, retain them, then test them, and they also establish themselves, their credentials. So that means this one decade it took, but first time in the history of West Bengal CPIM, 30% of the state committee are new. Young. Average age gone down. And it's more so, it's not only state committees, the district level, area level is also so, and the mass organization level is also so. But still, everything is not accomplished. We have to, yet we have to miles to go.
Okay. And to revamp the youth organization and student organization, is there any plan? Or
yes, of course. Because this phase of the movement is, I say always, youth to the fore. It's not only youth movement or student movement. In every aspect, wherever we are gaining ground, it is, you see that, be it the trade union, be it the women, be it the agriculture worker, be it the Kisan movement, wherever we could induct and train and position the younger generation, so they have proved their mantle. And we have to do more so. And we have a lot of young district secretaries, area secretaries. It's not only just inclusion of some young people. That is giving the hope. Because whole process, during this last one decade, the right-wing politics sought to delink the past with the present, so that we can't build our future. But that they could not accomplish. So despite in the university centers and college centers, left politics is banned unofficially. If our student activists go to inside the college, they'll be killed. They'll be falsely implicated. But despite that, the students are coming and joining. That's the strength of ideology. And that's why we are expecting many more to come. And when youth is to the fore, so after this party congress, the youth organizations also going to have their all India conference there, and then we'll see how the youths are mobilized.
Comrade, there was criticism in a section of media that the left were more soft towards BJP in the last 2-3 elections than the Trinamool. Is there any truth in it?
Forget about CPIM. If anyone claimed themselves as left, how can they be soft towards the most reactionary, rightist element in this country? So this is actually some hired commentators, hired by Nagpur. They wanted to create and sell the RSS narratives. So it is straight from the handouts handed over from Nagpur, and they just multiplied through media as experts comment or post edit or editorial or news items. Nothing more than that. Because if you are left, there's a basic fundamental difference. And the rise of left, rise of right is, of course, whenever throughout the world, if there's a rise of right, it's based on that proportion, it will be the lowering of the left influence. Otherwise, right. So, in the recent period in Indian politics, because they wanted to shift entire thing towards right and extreme right, so they first attacked the left. Inside parliament, outside parliament, in the elections, even in Bengal, even in Tripura, even Kerala, our left basins were attacked. Why? Because only it's left which can give the ideological challenge, political challenge to this right-wing politics, right-wing economy. That's why they were targeted. So disseminating the left, only the right can rise. But since it happened simultaneously, so it's a oversimplification, then left shifted towards right. It's not that. Because left weakened, so there is a rise of the right.
And right now, is there any mass movements coming up in Bengal against the Trinamool rule, against any of the decisions or any of the policies?
Yes, it's ongoing. Even during conference, pre-conference, post-conference. As now, there's justice for Anis Khan, you must have listened. A student activist who took part with us in this anti-CA, NRC, NPR movement. When the streets of Calcutta was seized by the young force under the leadership of the left on this Modi go back in January 2020 before the lockdown.
And our comrades were
I'm saying, so these young people, they participated. And now when the Trinamool Congress to implement the prescription handed over to her by this Nagpur, trying to destroy the Alia University. It's a unique, the Kerala people can understand, it's a unique experience where the age-old madrasa was upgraded to an university. Since the foundation, the Trinamool Congress opposed it. Now they are destroying it. So the students' movement is going on. It's more than 190 days. The dharnas and petty picket is going on. It's not SFI, it's all students. Left is also part of that. And then Anis Khan, in the thick of this movement, was killed. So justice for Anis Khan, as well as the Save Alia movement is going on. And Trinamool is getting isolated. One. But the same thing the BJP is doing in Assam, in other places. When the attack came on the JNU, Jamia, Aligarh, similarly the attack is coming on the Presidency University, Jalp University or Ali University. So the student movement is there. Then you must have heard Maidul Midda. Year before, he was killed by the police when they demanded job. So on the question of education, on the health, on the question of employment, the struggle is going on. With every passing day, the High Court is passing judgments and commenting on the role of the government and the corruption of the ministers and the government bodies on the cases of recruitment and admission cases, like VAPAM of BJP-led Madhya Pradesh government. Similar things is happening in Bengal. So movement is going on. At the same time, the workers, peasants, now this 28th, 29th, when the national strike was there for 2 days, the Bengal people, they participated. So it's not only 2 days affairs, for last 2 months the campaign was going on. And now also with every passing day the women are attacked. They are being molested, they are being raped, they are being killed, and even the elected representatives are not spared. So in that case, the women movement, the youth movement, the student movement is going on. It's an ongoing process. And party is also coordinating with the left, that the left party is also now on the streets on the question of price rise and on the question of attack on democracy and opposing this communal polarization.
And the leftist sympathizers in Kerala, they are very much keenly watching the developments in Bengal. So how much confident you are in regarding the coming back of
traditionally Bengal and Kerala society, there are so much of similarity in its literature, people struggle since the age old, and we are both rice and fish eaters and use banana leaves. But left movement has also developed this bond, particularly the CPI-M struggle in these two states. And we though independently the movement has grown, but we supplement each other, at least motivate and demotivate with the success and failure. So naturally the success of Kerala and particularly the repeat of this Pinarayi Vijayan government second time consecutively, that helped a lot to rediscover left by this generation in Bengal also. At the same time, when in Tripura our comrades are withstanding the pressure, mobilizing against the onslaught of the BJP. So that also motivating Bengal people, and we learn from Kerala how various segments of the society are being mobilized and moved, and successfully our left alternative programs are being implemented. And when we talk about Human Development Index, health, particularly education and other social development index, in that Human Development Index, so Kerala is always in our mind, and we tell them that this is what left can do. So I am thankful that after myself becoming the General Secretary of the State Committee, there are lots of encouragement from Kerala also. Many supporters, sympathizers, apart from party leaders, because of my old days association with the DAFI. So I think after attending this party congress, our comrades also will get encouragement and will go back with renewed vigor.
Okay, Salindra, thank you. Thank you for spending this much time with the show.
My compliment to Desavani.
Okay, thank you.